There's one. That's a good one too. Man, this fish pulled up. Boy, they're strong. Strong fish, man. He was hooked. It can't get any better than that. I mean, you think he wanted that jig? Up here eating crawfish right after a cold front. Slow start this morning, but as the day progresses, the bite's always better in the afternoon. It's that finesse football jig. Water warms up and these fish instinctively they come up and feed on crawfish. That couple degree change as the day progresses gets these fish to move shallow and feed up for the winter. Got him. Good one too. That'll work. Big, long, skinny fish. Super shallow. Loving that football jig. Look how he ate that thing. I mean, they're up here eating crawfish. Late fall, November. You wouldn't think that it'd be this shallow. You know, we fish so many different bodies of water for smallmouth, and most of the fish this time of year are deep. These fish are literally in 4 foot of water, eating crawfish. Nice long skinny fish.
So the lake I was fishing was kind of an unfamiliar lake. I only fished it a few times before in the summer. It was a deep, clear, natural lake. Visibility probably 7-8 foot or greater. And the few times that I fished it were in the summertime. And based on when I fished in the summertime, the fish were out off the bank, suspended on bait fish. So I thought coming into this that I could catch them on the bottom. You know, usually when the water's cold, the fish kind of get a little bit closer to the bottom, and I thought that, you know, I could get a good deep water bite going. After a few hours, I didn't catch anything, and I always go back to my, you know, my basics when I'm struggling on an unfamiliar lake, and that's when I can't find fish in the fall. What I'm going to look for is a steep shoreline, something with a rapid depth change. It's got deep water, but it also has access to shallow water. And what I did is I got on a steep bank, and early into the cast I caught one on a football jig in about 4 foot of water, and right then and there, that was my clue to be investigating shallow water. Well, from that I actually started getting on these flats and then breaking it down that these fish were actually on shallow flats with rock to like a short grass transition. But it's that one little clue that you have to pay attention to those little things. The fish will tell you what they really are doing and what they want. And just keep an open mind when you're on an unfamiliar body of water. It's going to definitely help you catch more fish.
Got him. Right off a rock, and he ticked it. Nice smallie. It's amazing how picky they are too. I throw a jerkbait, they won't touch a jerkbait. They're up there eating crawfish and you have to match the hatch. That fish hammered it. Fishing transitions. Transitions from rock to short grass. These fish are moving up eating crawfish. And that fish wanted that jig. That little combination, when the going gets tough, put some nice ones in the boat. And let that one go catch another one. You know, one thing I noticed from fishing this stuff, This lake has a bunch of shallow rock piles. And I'm not quite getting bit when I get into the heart of the rock pile. I'm getting bit where the rock pile starts. And it's almost like a pattern. It's like I won't waste my time fishing the whole rock pile. I'm just looking for where that break is. That transition from the rock to something softer, or gravel, or they got this short moss that grows on the bottom. And I think that between that moss and the rock is where these fish are sitting. So I'm looking, and I'm kind of just dragging the jig along. And if I get too much into the rocks, I'm going to make another cast, and I'm going to parallel and try to get on those transitions, because with smallmouth, even in deep water, they'll relate to transitions. There he is. Oh, nice smallie. Oh, nice smallie. Oh, that is so much fun. And I mean, he just drilled it. Look at that one. Look at that long fish. Oh, man. You think he wanted that jig? I mean, he hammered that jig. That is so awesome. 4 foot of water. This is cool because it's different. This is totally different than the lakes that we fish up here. It's a natural lake, and the water's cold, and these fish, I figured it out kind of by accident. That's why you got to keep an open mind. You just never know. Nice smallie. Up there eating crawfish. Nice long fish. This is a classic example. We got a main lake point, and we got deep water that comes right up to the side of the point. And off the point it gets shallower. So what I'm going to do is kind of, where the deep water comes up to that shallow spot, I'll start my way there, then I'll get on top of the point, and I'll make parallel casts with that depth, that 4 to 5 foot depth. I'm sitting at 9 now, and I just want to make casts where I kind of think, educated guess, where that depth is going to be, and I'm going to look to feel for rock and feel for transition. And it seems like when I'm in that soft stuff, and as soon as I get in that rock, I'll get bit. Got him. Oh, right in that rock. I was kind of fan casting to see if I could find the transition. I finally found that transition. That's right where he was. Nice smallie. And he picked it right up. Brown and black, living rubber, flip fly tie, finesse football jig. This is a 3/8 ounce. I've been going half to 3/8 depending on the wind. Rain's ring crawl in either a green pumpkin or a green pumpkin blue. Catch nice bronze backs like that.